8:12 on Morning Live. Thanks for joining us. If your roof is looking a little warm, but you can't decide what to replace it with, some expert help is here right now. Vince Guerra from the Batgroup to show us the latest in metal roofing. It's not like our grandfather's barn anymore, is it? It's
not anymore, Bob.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Vince.
Oh, my pleasure.
So you brought some samples. We'll show some pictures in a minute here, but there's a wide variety in terms of styles. But can we talk about just the surfaces and how different it is now?
Well, now we have stone coating on it, which is a lot different than, let's say, the old barns.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's start with the before here.
This is what metal roofing, that's what people think of when they think about metal roofing, this barn style, standing seam type roofing.
Yeah, which is very noisy. You get the rain.
Very noisy, yes. You have stone coated finishes that give it a much more natural look.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like metal, and it's not as noisy.
Yeah,
and
nice and it deadens the sound.
Very much so compared to this here. And it looks a lot more natural. The sun doesn't shine off of it. It gives it a more matte look. And it looks a lot more natural. It could look like wood shake, clay tiles we have here. Different types of profiles. Could look like an asphalt shingle, but it's metal.
Yes, the texture of it feels very much like asphalt, and
yes.
I'm thinking this would help because a problem with the old metal barn roofs is you get big ice slabs on it sliding off.
That's right. People think of a metal roof that the snow will slide off automatically.
Yeah.
Instead, it accumulates
right
into sheets of ice, and then when you get a day with warm weather, it just comes tumbling down and avalanche.
It's pretty dangerous. Yeah.
Dangerous for little pets or...
Yeah, so this would behave much like asphalt in terms of the snow melt.
Yes, holding it back.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we just had a picture there. Actually, if we could show another picture here, just in terms of the construction and how this stuff goes on.
Yes, traditionally these go on strapping. You can go right over top of the existing roof.
Okay.
You don't have to, remove it, dump it in the landfills and all that.
Now I'm wondering, can you step on metal roofing after the fact?
You have to know where to step. Where
those braces are.
Yes. When you have a profile like you see on that photo there, you have to be careful where you step because you will dent it. It won't damage, but it'll dent. That's it.
Now, obviously, this is more money than asphalt shingling. What kind of price points are we dealing with these days?
You're looking at about 3 times the price of asphalt shingles in the initial cost, but once you put it on, you never have to worry about your roofing.
Yeah, this is permanent roofing, so you have to consider how long you're going to be at that particular residence and whether you want to make that investment. But yeah, if you're there for the long term, absolutely. And
the curb appeal, too. When you do a new asphalt shingle roof, you can't really tell that you've put on a new roof, whereas this, you've dramatically changed it.
Yeah, that's something that would definitely go in the real estate listing. Permanent metal roof.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're seeing some samples here. It looks pretty fantastic, too. So how wide is the selection?
Pretty much. You have many different types of tile profile. And like you see here, you see 3 of them. There are 3 different types of tile. Then you have shakes, shingle. Pretty much any look you want to go for, you can go now, especially with the stone coated, because it doesn't look like metal anymore. It could look like any natural roofing material, like slate, wood shakes, or even copper. I mean,
so the sky's the limit in terms of you can go pretty high end. On the other end of the scale, there's other hybrid versions coming, isn't there, in terms of like working with asphalt and metal?
Well, there's a big gap between asphalt pricing and metal.
Right.
And there's some now that are coming out that are stone-coated metal asphalt shingles. It's called the MetStar shingle. It's a brand new product that's coming out on the market. And it allows you to get all the long-lasting qualities of metal without the extra cost. So it brings it closer to price to an asphalt shingle. Right. And it goes on like an asphalt shingle.
So in terms of square footage, what's the ballpark in terms of the price range?
Installed, you're asking?
Okay, installed, yes.
Yeah, installed, you're looking at about $7 a square foot for this type of a metal roof.
Okay.
Asphalt shingles is more in the $2, $2.50 a square foot.
Right, okay. And we'll just throw some more pictures up here because, again, just about any type of roof, I mean, there aren't any limitations, is there?
Yeah, there's a minimum pitch. You got to have a bit of a slope to it.
Right.
Or else you can still do it with a low slope, but you have to put a nice and water shield to make sure that water doesn't get through when it's a low slope application.
Some more pictures here. It does look fantastic, and it is good to know that, again, if you're staying in the residence, if that's your permanent residence, it's permanent roofing, can pay for itself.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's roofing is not fun in terms of outlay, so you don't want to do it more than once.
Nobody looks forward to replacing their roof.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's all kinds of ideas, more selections online, and more information about metal roofing, because as we mentioned off the top, it has come a long way. So your website is batgroup.ca.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. There it is right there on screen. Thanks, Vince, for the expert advice and
thanks.
Little primer on metal roofing.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, now we're getting a primer on pizza with Leslie Stewart.
Sounds good.
Hi, Bob. It's